Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm going to be talking to you today about these Cut Tech jointer and planer units. I am a relatively new woodworker. I would definitely like to consider myself a jack of all trades, but by no means am I a professional. So I have acquired a lot of older wood throughout the years here, and I've been trying to figure out what is the best option for me to use this wood. And obviously, that comes with milling wood. So I've been doing a lot of research here on YouTube and on the internet and forums about planers and joiners, and man, is there a lot of stuff out there. So from my research alone, I have found that a lot of people like these DeWalt's or the Rikon planers, the DeWalt 735X or the Rikon 13-inch, but both have pretty pricey tags on them, upwards of $700. I think the Rikon's actually almost $800, but the Rikon kind of stands out to itself because it does have a spiral head, but the DeWalt is still stuck on some blades, and so are all the other Makitas and stuff like that. So I happened to stumble across Cut Tech, and for the price of what they got going on some of these monthly specials is sounded really appealing to me and to what my needs were. I mean, I can get a 8-inch joiner and a 12.5-inch planer for almost less than what the DeWalt 735 was with free shipping. So to me, it was a no-brainer. Looking into these products again more, these companies, they don't even use these blades. It's all spiral heads with HSS or carbide tip inserts on it. So it seemed like it was a no-brainer. So I picked up the monthly special here in January. I think I ordered it on Monday and it was delivered on Thursday. So great customer service, shipped right out. You can see me kind of unboxing the unit right here. Thought it was packaged pretty well. There was no damage from shipping or anything like that. So thank you UPS on that. Unit pretty much comes together, as you could see. A couple pieces that need to get put together, the fence assembly and that little piece fell off, but that goes to the extension. So this is the 8-inch joiner. It's actually has some Teflon coating on it as well, so it's a little bit of a higher end one on the from the Cut Tech guys. There's only one more model up from this, and that one just has the carbide tips. This one has the HSS inserts on. You can see these things are fucking, excuse me, are super sharp. So I didn't want to put my gloves on, so I didn't cut myself. Yeah, there's a spiral head on it, so very nice. It probably took me about maybe a half an hour to put this thing together. Very simple to operate. I'm zooming in here now on the depth adjustment. This actually lever here, this knob right here, actually kind of just releases it, and then that knob to the bottom kind of helps you, go up from 0 all the way down to 1/8 of an inch. And then you just tighten that thing back up to lock it back into place. Comes stock with a 4-inch dusk port on it. It does come with an adapter to get you down to 2.5. And it does have these extensions on these extension wings. Were super sturdy. I was super impressed with these. It actually measures out to almost 52 inches long, and I put some pressure on it vertically and horizontally, and if I had this thing screwed down, it wouldn't be going anywhere. Thing's super solid. So I was super impressed with that. So just a quick note on putting this thing together. The manual is pretty much useless. It has really dark photos on it. It's confusing, but you can pretty much figure out yourself how to put this thing together. Definitely read through the instructions as to kind of see how they flow, but other than that, it was pretty straightforward. I did a couple things along the way. You could follow along here as this thing's going. This is the first piece that you go on. You put the this bracket here on. I took my level with me because I wanted to make sure I got this thing level before I really tightened it down. Nice little move there. You definitely want to do that. As you can see, it's level. Next, you put the fence together. It has 2 screws that go together, and then you just hook up this other bracket to it, and yeah, just tighten it up. They do give you 2 Allen wrenches and some other type of star key as well with this thing. You need to get this thing centered so there is a little circle that you could kind of use, but I chose to use my caliper to kind of like measure this thing out and, just make sure I had this bracket completely centered on my fence. So, something you want to do, it's not a bad look. This thing just sits up there and you drop this adjustable wing nut slider screw thing right into there, and you're pretty much in business at this point. I went to check my 90 at this point. I was off a little bit at the top, but that was my own error there. This thing does have like, memory type things where like, it can go to like 90 and 135 like super quick. So I was playing with it before and I kind of knocked it out of whack, but you could see me here just plop it right back in. So coming right from the factory, I mean, this thing was dialed in. It was dead nuts. A nice little trick here. I always like to have magnets around and sticks up the magnets and just throw it on the thing so I don't lose these things. They're freaking have these things all over my shop, so I'll try to get some magnets and just stick them right to the tools or the piece of equipment. There you go. This is just the adapter that comes with the dust system. I had it hooked up to my shop vac when I turned it on the first time. It seemed to work great. There was no dust whatsoever. Here, just threw a level on here just to see how this thing was sitting dead nuts. No high spots anywhere in the thing. Super impressed. I'm gonna fire this thing up for the first time here, and I got my little app out with the decibel meter going there, so I'll kind of show you what this thing's reading. It wasn't too loud, I thought. It came in hovering around 80 decibels, so it's not terribly loud. Yeah, it sounded like a beast too. It hummed really nice. I really like the sound to it. Let's kind of zoom in on some of these HSS inserts. Super sharp, super easy to kind of maintain and switch out if you need to. They are sharp on two sides, but you do have the option to upgrade to carbide if you wanted to. So I figured HSS is going to be fine for me. Got a piece of wood here. Took apart an old workbench. These 2x4s are close to like 100 years old, so you can kind of see the condition it's in there. And I'm just gonna run it through the joiner here. Turn the shop back on. Got that thing hooked up. I'm gonna fire this hog up. Unit actually comes with these 2 push paddles, which is nice, a little safety thing, because you want to keep your hands on those push paddles. I guess that's what everybody says. At least these other people say so. Probably don't want to have your hands on a piece of wood. So it was a little sticky here. I haven't put any wax or anything on it yet, so this is also the first time I've ever done this. So my technique is definitely not solid yet, but something I got to work on, which I'm pretty excited about. So this thing came out awesome. When I flipped it over, I was like, wow, that piece of wood was glowing, and I was super impressed. This probably felt like 220 or better sandpaper. It was smooth as glass. I had a couple of lines in here, but that's just from user error, and I took a 30-second off of this piece of wood, so it was barely anything. But yeah, super impressed, super smooth. I was shocked by it. Super impressed with these HSS inserts and the spiral cutting. So I couldn't be more pleased with just the first piece that I put through this. But I got a lot more to put through this weekend. So if you're kind of just getting started in this whole woodworking hobby, I would highly recommend checking out Cuttech. I mean, I spent, hours looking at the DeWalts, the Makitas, whatever was out there, Craigslist, and for the price that Cuttech is selling stuff, they're keeping, they don't sell in the big box stores, your Home Depots or your Lowe's, but for the price that you can get the joiner, an 8-inch joiner, not the 6-inch, the 8-inch and a 12.5-inch freaking planer for under $700, it just can't be touched. And to me, it's a no-brainer. They come with a 2-year warranty on it. They got, again, like I said, spiral cutter heads with inserts on it. This thing's putting out almost the same amount of power that some of these DeWalt models are. give you some numbers. The cutter head speeds, RPM at 12,000. Max cutting width is 8 inches. Max cut depth is 1/4 inch. We have 16 cutter inserts on this unit as well. Thing's just a beast, man. I'm totally impressed with it. I'm going to be running a lot of wood through it tomorrow, so and I'll also be putting a planer together tomorrow as well, so I'll be doing a video on that as well, so check back on that. And so far, first impressions on the Cut Tech is good. All is good, so good job, guys, and yeah, stay tuned.